last season's grand finals. Complexity Gaming taking on Gale Force eSports. Honestly, Carpet, we live. This is the reason why we turn up to broadcast. Matches like this.
Yep. Just the raw skill of every single player on this field is always a treat to watch. And I want to continue on James's point, saying how, we were always wondering when is, are they just relying on a lot too much? Is Complexity just waiting for a lot to do his business? And the day he doesn't show up, what is that going to mean to them? And we clearly saw that doesn't matter.
No.
Mets and Magnus, the last time we saw them play, were absolute monsters.
So I actually have some answers to this one.
Okay.
In general. And one of the reasons why I believe this works so well is actually due to Magnus. Remember, he is the player that won the Streamer Showdown. That's the sort of thing where he went in and he played with everyone that was high level in Rocket League for Europe, and he came out the best. He had the highest win percentage by far. If a lot is not playing well, they just rotate him back into a regular style, and they'll be fine. They can just play normal. It's not like they have one strategy that they can only default to.
Now, something else we've noticed on the other side, Gale Force, right? We noticed that they are one of the lowest boost usage teams out there. And we were chatting about it, and I think it's because they're so efficient when they get to the ball. Every touch they make is so deliberate and selective that their teammates can just be in position to get ready. They don't need to use a lot of boost to react to poor touches or to rogue balls. They're always there like, hey, I know this is going to go. I know you're going to challenge it. So Gale Force, even if they're slow and struggling on the net, they are so efficient when they get to that ball.
We're starting off in the Gale Force half. As they try and find a way of removing the ball from their side of the field, big challenge. It's going to allow Magnus to get it over to the Alot player as he almost turns it in. He will turn it in straight away. It took less than half a minute.
I saw him looking at Mets, potentially going for a pass, but no, he opts for the wide-angled shot. As slow as it may have been, there wasn't a defender on Gale Force that could have read that.
He can do it off the wall, he could do it off the ceiling, and he shows he can do it anywhere. Incredible from Alot, and we have only just got started. Now, once again, takes the shot, but Turbopulsar already in net. Gale Force rattled to start us off the sidewall. Will be immediately challenged by Metznaris, who has been relatively quiet this season. Not reaching his own highs. It's going to be Magnus. Just putting a probing shot up high, taking some boost away from Violent Panda, who's going to want to try and catch the middle. He has got it from the looks of it, taking the shot. Need to get these higher, though, if they really want to trouble Complexity, because put it too low down, not only can they save, but they can save without any real mispositioning of the car. Now they go for some demos. Metznaris rotates back to try and help out.
Watch where Gale Force keeps taking their shots from. They are dropping it so far from their opponent's net. Complexity have to chase that ball down. They have to make sure they get that save. And I think if they can do 2 or 3 of those in succession, that's when you're going to see the struggle. That's when you're going to see the Complexity defense start to run out of boost, because they have so much ground to cover.
Magnus going to keep this going as his teammates rotate back for boost. Gale Force just struggling for possession, struggling for territory, as they've been stuck in their own half for a little while, but finally Turbopulsar charges the ball downfield. I mean, no follow-up. Magnus can clear a lot already as a target. Gonna backflip out, realizing Turbopulsar wasn't all that close to him. As we go back over to the Gale Force corner. Been stuck in numerous times, so here's the passing plays. Gonna look to see if they can open up Complexity. That's not a great touch from Metznaris. Gale Force not holding themselves too far forward. Very standard rotation from them so far. Magnus already up. Going to be played straight into the corner. Alot recognizing that he's not getting that ball anytime soon. Moves himself all the way back.
Whenever you see Gale Force turn in on a ball, even if, like, I've been watching K-Dot for quite some time, even if he knows he might make it, oh no.
Turbopulsar follows it up, but Metznaris already up there. Magnus already jumped. He's going to be just slightly out of position, but Metznaris automatically turns around.
Gale Force won't let up. They want to push them while they're struggling for boost right now. Mets has nothing. Alot has nothing.
I don't know, you give Alot one little segment on the touchscreen and suddenly he has to do it every single time. Just seems even more on 10 on his start of play than any other time I've seen him. K-Dot looking to clear. Turbopulsar leaves it for Violent Panda. Gale Force have done a good job of holding onto possession, but they haven't really had a chance to do anything with it. Complexity not double committing, not rising to any of the baits. I'd love to see Gale Force just go back to what they do best. Short passing plays and launching shots. Turbo gets it off the ceiling. A lovely touch from him, but his teammates are all the way back, awaiting the long clear. It's a huge challenge. Going to drop straight back down. Magnus can't control, but only temporarily. Infield pass. Turbo Pulsar wants to get there, but once again, Metznaris in position. Huge challenge win. This could be two. Magnus off the backboard, and Violent Panda needs to get here before a lot does. And he will do so. Turbo Pulsar looking for K-Dot, but he just can't reach it. But Gale Force settling down to these passing plays.
Slightly too strong in that pass for K-Dot, but again, their ideas are always there. I've been watching K-Dot for some time, and he's always looking for a teammate, no matter what's going on. Even if he has a bit of a sliver of a goal, and it wouldn't be a bad choice. Like if he took the shot, I'm like, hey, that's not bad. He's still always looking for the pass play midfield.
Turbo Pulsar gonna wait. All the way back right now is Violent Panda and the rest of his team trying to set up the play. But they're running out of time for this. 30 seconds remaining. Turbo Pulsar launches a clear, but Violent Panda, as you can see, low on boost, can't do anything about that. Lack of communication, a lot, all the way up. Takes the ball and Violent Panda out of the play. 15 seconds. Gale Force must transition. They must set, and they must score. They have got a hefty checklist that they must complete. It's Complexity slowing everything down. Now Turbo Pulsar, he needs to control. Can't quite get there because a lot immediately with the challenge. Once this ball touches the floor, which it will, Complexity will take game number 1.
Only a 1-goal game, though, keeping it close, showing us probably the pattern of we will probably see another game 5. Probably another game decider, right? Complexity slowed down significantly after they got that first goal. They had 6 shots to their name in comparison to a 5 for Gale Force, so very, very close in shots. Now, we didn't see a lot as much playing what we've seen from him. So what did you see, Shogi?
I saw Complexity secure themselves a top 2 spot for this season. They are confirmed at this point to be going to the World Championships, all off an incredible Alot goal. Honestly, this is living up to the hype right now. I prefer these sort of series where one goal means so much more, because now we've just seen from Complexity that they've added to that play style. This was a problem they had last season where, yeah, they'd score goals, but they'd concede as well.
Yeah.
This shows sort of the overall engagement and how much they've been paying attention to what their own problems are. And now once they get these leads, they're not overdoing it. There was no double commits in the defense. They never really looked tested in the defense, which was impressive because Complexity, I love them, but they never do anything convincingly.
But they were very close oftentimes to if one player had reacted even just half a second too late, or if one player wasn't getting where he needed to, it would have gotten past that defense. There were at least 4 shots from Gale Force that I can think of off the top of my head that were very strong, directly at net, forced the defender to come across, react perfectly, push it to the corner, and then there just wasn't a follow-up right after.
We need Gale Force to control the boost just a little bit more. A couple of times went for passing plays, and both times the player that was being passed to just had 0 boost or near enough close to it. Alot launching up high. Can it make it 2 for the series? Unable to, as Turbo Pulsar is going to be one-on-one chasing this down against Magnus. He's trying to figure out what he's going to do. And that bump will leave the ball loose, forcing the save. This is K-Dop's opportunity. 200 career goals. He is the 5th player in RLCS history to reach that mark.
And this placement showing exactly why he's so strong. Alot was there and ready. He even had the boost, but K-Dop kept it as high as possible. So I had even nicked the crossbar on the way in. Could not have been placed better.
Once again, a goal scored in the opening 30 seconds, but now it's going to be up to Gale Force to see whether or not they can hold on, like Complexity did earlier on in game number 1. Violent Panda already up. He's launched that. It's going to be very difficult for K-Dop to make anything of this, but make something of it he will, forcing 2 players to commit on the side of Complexity. Now Turbo, the 2-time, takes out 1. Gonna look to take out everyone off the crossbar. Follow-up from Violent Panda, saved by Magnus. Turbo Pulsar, the desk wanted him to step up. That was stepping up right there.
And then it's just step 1 right now. They're going to need 3 victories to make sure they can try and put themselves in a better position to find Complexity up there in the top 2 and hopefully avoid them early on in the regionals.
Turbo, straight underneath. Doing a great job so far pulling players out, but Gale Force never seem to be sending one player to shadow. Happier to fall on a defensive line. Now over to the corner, big demo. Violent Panda removes 1, but automatically, like a Hydra, replaced by another.
The placement from K-Dot forcing a lot of boost usage.
Anywhere else on that net, that shot goes in. Straight down the middle. Magnus jumps, hopes. I don't think even he expected to get the save.
Bump onto Magnus. And a lot to midfield. That leaves Mets all alone.
Gale Force finding the infield passes with alarming rate. There's going to be a lot with a shot of his own. They just needed one.
I cannot believe they were able to push this out. That pass down, the pace on that pass was what made it such a threat. It was so quick down, straight to a lot who had some boost to his name, but that was definitely not an easy shot to make with the angle that he was coming at that with. No one at Gale Force able to react and close off the angles, and now we'll see a tie game.
Let's put that into what options Gale Force have there. They see Magnus going. Typically, the ball is played off the backboard from there. They just try and power the shots. You're not looking at a lot in that situation. The pass catching them off guard, but that is going to be a turbo pulsar goal to make this 2-1. Just catching an incredible angle.
We're going to see Metzenauer, so he goes with his first challenge. That leaves Magnus in net, but that was just, I'm going to say, a poor challenge, but he lost that challenge so much that Magnus had to then turn around and net, use a whole bunch of boost, and by then Turbo was already in an angle, already at pace, going in for the shot.
Gale Force spending a lot of time so far trying to harass defenders. Works out, re-establishes their lead after losing it only momentarily off the backboard. This is an open net. Violent Panda is not going to miss that. That is everybody with a goal on Gale Force.
Trying to find these sets right off of kickoff as well. Magnus coming up, then Metzenauer is trying to read that, and there it is. Getting the hard shot right along the post and crossbar area, right near that backboard, to where once you see it leave your opponent's car and you're a defender, you kind of have to react, right? Because it's at such pace. The chances that it's a net are probably high. You're going against the pro. So when it's just off target, you've spent so much boost, you've made no connection, you've got no control at all.
K-Dot over to Turbo Pulsar, looking to try go low yet again. This time gets blocked. It's going to be a Lot's duty to take this one. He's got a target man, Magnus waiting downfield. Going to play it straight back, and then a Lot gets clattered by Turbo Pulsar. If you want to take him out, that is a good way of doing it.
The best part is a Lot sees Magnus up in his opponent's half, right? He sees him in Gale Force's half. He's like, here, you do what I do. Magnus is like, no, I'm giving it back to you, man. I don't want this kind of pressure.
More bumping attempts. K-Dot has to avoid. Now up yet again. Clears the ball. Slightly mistimed play from Complexity. They needed him jumping whilst the shot came in. Now a Lot straight to Magnus. Lovely team plays we are seeing from both teams right now. But thus far, it has been Gale Force connecting slightly better.
If you want to know how to play as a team, anyone out there, just watch both these teams. Just watch how they execute.
Watch these teams and then don't do it. Because the only difference between these teams and you is you are not these teams.
That's the only difference, Shogun? That's it.
It's a big difference. Let's put it like that. Violent Panda just going to try and waste time. Maybe pick himself up a goal. Complexity's defense just disintegrated in one split second.
The solo, he was literally just challenging this, just nice and solo, but that hit from a Lot to keep it out of range of Violent Panda sometimes has the inverse effect. He wasn't ready for his own defender to be coming to challenge that. He would have, at that point, wanted to let the defender from net come for that, because even if Violent Panda was there, that pinch would have been much more in your favor. But, you know, sometimes either a lapse in judgment or quick reaction times. 4-1 for Gale Force.
Wanted them to respond after being kept to a clean sheet in the last game. And they've done that with 4 resounding goals to their name. For Complexity right now, this is all about keeping themselves in a competitive mindset. They cannot afford just to say, okay, this game is over, let's take our foot off the pedal.
You think we'll see one more highlight goal from them?
Maybe? I don't know. I can never put anything out. It seems like a Lot always scores his highlight goals in the first 2 minutes. So
he makes that impact early on.
He does. He rattles everyone.
You know, he asserts dominance, and then he just proceeds to hang out the rest.
Played straight down. Metzenauer off the backboard. That could launch straight down.
Wow.
And there's going to be the pinch clear. There's going to be a pinch goal. You said you wanted something impressive. That was pretty impressive.
This is something, man. This is definitely something.
How much do they know of this? I would say, you know what? I'm going to credit that.
You think?
I'm going to credit that one.
I think
I know I shouldn't.
I think they had both dedicated to take their own hit, and then when they both jumped, they thought to themselves, oh, sick pinch. And then it showed up.
Look, that is by far the more likely, but I want to give it some.
Why not?
to come towards the end of this match. And it is going to be one game apiece. This match living up to the expectations as both teams able to dominate their respective victories. Metznaris can't quite get up there in time. Gale Force refusing to hand away anything, as they're going to take this match 5-1.
I mean, the rest of these games mean so much more for Gale Force, at least in the scheme of RLCS. But just these two teams going against each other, I mean, this is #1 and #2 predicted usually teams in Europe. Obviously, right now, standings-wise, that is not entirely accurate. But in general, I mean, this is the rematch of our finals for just last season. And we watched these two teams go the distance. We watched them play so many times, actually. Now, how many games did they play together? Like 56?
It's pretty ridiculous.
In just one LAN? I don't know. It was a lot. They found each other twice.
Oh, you're making me count. Yeah, it was.
Don't actually do it.
It was like 11 times.
It was a lot.
Yes.
He's got
a terrible name.
He's got to change his name. He's really got to change his name. Linus, come on, man.
But you've hit the nail on the head right there as to why Complexity have secured top 2 at this point. But they will not let up, because at this point they've lost 3 straight series to Gale Force, one of which being that 4-0 sweep at the World Championship Finals. You know for a fact that the more they can do to Gale Force, the more wins they can take away, the more likely it is they get that 3rd or 4th place spot, and maybe they don't have to deal with Gale Force at the World Championships. This is all about Complexity doing their part to try and get rid of a huge threat.
Yeah, and I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but if I were Complexity, and I know that there's a chance that I'll find Gale Force in the regional finals, so there's a chance I'll see them again at LAN. This is probably a good time to try some new tactics to see what it takes to deal with Gale Force when they know they have to give it their all. This is going to be Gale Force trying very, very hard. And they know they're going to want this win because they also want to find themselves at a top 2 spot. So Complexity at this point can try, okay, when do we struggle? When do we not? What kind of tactics can we implore into this team?
Gale Force have got a match later on today. That is a triple win. After all of the hyping up we did for these two teams, that's how they decide to start out game number 3. K-Dot launching long. Can't quite follow up his own touch. It's going to be Violent Panda who looks for the shot, expecting K-Dot to go for the wall bump, who just about missed. This is a great start though from Gale Force. Metznaris can't quite get back. K-Dot seems to be half rotating an awful lot more to start us off here. Using some of that pace. Magnus, he's got a lot to aim for. Can't quite reach. There's almost a level of expectancy.
You know you're
at this
good.
point in time.
Oh my! I was waiting for it. I saw him coming across. Like, he missed the first one, and you're out of position. He stole the boost. He's like, I'm going to come across, and then I'm going to score it.
Wow. Within the opening minute, a lot scored another highlight reel. I mean, Cooksir, he's got the reputation of being king clutch. A lot, he's got the reputation of king. Yeah, I can hit that.
If Complexity win Worlds, can we just get his name etched into the backboard, since that's pretty much the only place he hangs out?
Pass over to Metznaris to a lot. Ends up missing that one. That's going to be another infield attempt. Everyone from Gale Force looking to respond. They were unable to do so in game number 1. From almost an exact same position. This time around, they've got to try and open up their opponents. Metznaris over to a lot. Launches it up high. Tevaposa has been beaten. Violent Panda will be the last line of defense, but Metznaris is going to keep this going. K-Dot finally able to rotate in with the clear. K-Dot, though, launches the shot. He sees everyone from Complexity trying to rotate back, but such a light touch from the defender means a lot can control this. He's going to go all the way downfield, but his touch just too light to really trouble Turbo Pulsar. End-to-end gameplay thus far.
Gale Force always traveling as a unit, even when they have high pressure, when they're playing defense. They still always put someone up to the pass. They love the 2-touch clears, and it gets them out of pressure so quickly. Most of the Complexity shots and goals have been on that one quick attack, right? That one counterattack. They're rarely able to push on Gale Force. Gale Force can relieve pressure so well.
Turbo is not going to win the challenge. Magnus makes it 2-0. You cannot afford to slow down on either side right now.
Turbo even kept it low, trying to get control of that. Both of them kind of just flinging their car at the ball. Magnus, I like the challenge. Obviously, I think we don't think he expected that to go directly in the net.
I think he thought he could win. He didn't think he could win that much, though. Now with just over half this game remaining, Gale Force, it seems like they need to create something. They need to create it very quickly. But the transition gameplay from Complexity, playing the ball from left to right, so difficult for Gale Force to pick a target that they want to go and challenge. Got it up high. Magnus looking for a boom and clear. He has not got it. That's going to open up some space, but a lot already has him covered. Gale Force forced to start once again. Kadop will be beat by a lot.
And this is where I think Complexity are always going to shine, even when they have the lead, because they're so confident in a two-man defense with a lot kind of inserting whenever he needs to. They're still such a threat when they're playing the passive version of Complexity, because a lot is still such a big threat. You can still put on so many shots. And
let me just explain what that does to an opponent's rotation as well. They know they need to be in offense, but you have to cover him. You have to be near that back line to make sure he's not going to catch you out. So it forces the offensive line to rotate slightly further back and means that they're not as fast to the shadow plays. Magnus not able to get there. TurboPulsar taps it straight down to Kadop. Gale Force still trying to create something. But every single time, there's just not enough accuracy or pace. This should be an infield pass, and that is off the side into the net. And with 1:15 remaining, Gale Force can make something of this game.
We've seen how quickly they can just score goals back-to-back. Kadop again, always looking for a teammate. That shot was insane. Violent Panda having what seemed like not enough time to react to that, puts it into the corner.
Finally able to catch Complexity as far back to a position where they cannot respond. 1 minute remaining, 1 goal separates, and whoever wins this will be on series points. Metsonaris plays it over to the side, 2-0, waiting a lot, hits it off the crossbar. Almost able to turn it into a 2-goal lead yet again. A lot off the backboard will not be able to be found. Means that we are going to see that two-man defense as Kadop will be challenging against Magnus.
Magnus had to use almost all of his boost to get that, though.
Straight down. Kadop is going to be taking on a lot. Though a lot didn't have time for it. Launched himself forward, but it's going to be Kadop. He's got a chance, but keeps flinging himself at the ball. And Gale Force, it's going to be so frustrating for them, because these are not calculated saves from Complexity. They are launching, they are saving out of nowhere, but eventually able to be broken down. Gale Force maintain the offensive, and they are able to get results.
Hey, guess what happened again?
Hello, what?
Kadop passed it.
He's offloading really well right now.
It's actually insane. It's probably one of the most precise passing I've seen. When just like I've just been like watching him. So every time they're on offense,
so every single time, it seems like Kadop's got his own version of this, where he's just holding himself over in the corner. He challenges for the ball. He half rotates every single time Gale Force even challenge, so he can be the first over.
Yeah. And I think the half rotation, when you're going to be your setup man, is massive, because it allows the other two opponents that need to travel a lot of distance.
This terrifies me, Carpet, because when we saw these teams in overtime, they lasted a wee while. A lot of 5-minute plus overtimes when these teams played at the Season 4 World Championship. Who can take this one and put themselves on series point? Kadop, he has to hit the negative angle. Just going to set it up to TurboPulsar off the post. Needed to be more accurate, but it's going to be a continued offensive onslaught from Gale Force, as they're going to be forced to rotate back, both Kadop and Turbo. Just using everything.
But still, Turbo keeping up the pressure, challenging it so that they couldn't get the two-man clear. Just being a bully. Violent Panda and Kadop can work together for this.
Turbo straight towards the net. A lot has to try and find Metsonaris. They are able to get rid of the pressure, and now it's their opportunity. But Magnus going to respect Kadop. Doesn't want to go for the challenge early. This time, now he will. Gale Force so threatening. All they need to do is win one challenge or get one infield pass. And they usually convert, but Metsonaris wants to go cross field. A lot is just going to get beat to the ball by TurboPulsar.
Oh, that second touch saved them so much. That was dropping straight down mid with a TurboPulsar staring at it.
There's Kadop. Launches straight into the body. There's Violent Panda straight down, and TurboPulsar was waiting for it. Crucial touch from a lot. Infield once again. Gale Force get it to work. 3-2, and they are on series points.
Another midfield pass from Ketu.
Is it K-Dub?
Yes, K-Dub!
Is that a hat trick of assists?
I'm pretty sure that's a hat trick of assists. If my poor memory serves me anything right, that is a hat trick of assists. What is that called?
That
a
is
shoe
a
trick? I don't know what it is.
That is a playmaker.
Gale Force.
Yep, you are 100% correct. K-Dub to Violent Panda every single time.
It's nuts. And look at the shots. 14 shots to 5. And Gale Force had so much control of that.
Let's break this down just a little bit because it's so easy for us to turn around right now and just go, all right, complexity. Just read it a little bit. You know what they're going for. But it's a case of the setup play has been so good so far from Gale Force where they will just continuously take shots, force the defensive line back where they have to respect that it could go off the backboard. And then immediately, once that happens, they switch. They change it, and that's when the pass happens.
It's almost like every time they attack, they're like, okay, we've got one good pass. When do we use it?
Yes.
Right? So they're just going to essentially barrage with simple tactics. And simple, I shouldn't say that word, but generally standard tactics, I think is a better word for me to use. They'll push it up to the corner, hit it off the backboard, make these defenders that are sitting on the ground come all the way out and challenge it, make the ones that are sitting on the backboard come far out to try and get the ones that are kind of midfield, but not totally. And once they realize they've forced their opponents to use enough boost, they're like, that pass, by the way, now
it's hitting.
They pull the trigger and it works
press
almost
the button,
every time.
man.
It's crazy.
It is ludicrous. You're just seeing two teams playing pretty much near their best. Complexity, I can't see too much here to fault them. Gale Force, they're on series point. There is almost nothing here to fault. This is just two incredible teams hitting it at the right time and giving us an incredible series of matches. It's going to be an attempt, though, for Complexity. They are now on a 2-match losing streak. Want to snap it and try and force game number 5. Turbo. Just going to try and find some space. Immediately opening up for Complexity. A lot tries to predict it. He's got enough. Violent Panda's touch is pretty loose, but he will win the ball. Crucial there from Magnus. Gets it to the corner. He knows he's not going to be able to control, but they needed to buy time because they need their teammate back, and they were almost caught for it.
There it is.
There's the shot, and that's the goal. You're able to read it, but unfortunately, no matter how well you can predict it's coming, what can you do against it?
That touch from K-Dub, I'd love to know if he was kind of intending for the shot but didn't have the time to actually react to the angle, or if his intention was literally just to cut across because he wanted to make them use boost. If you watched how much boost was just used in the last 3 shots from Complexity to try and defend, it is hands down what opened it up for Gale Force. They're always pulling it wide, forcing the defenders to cover so much distance before they capitalize.
Turbo gonna wait. He's got K-Dub over in the middle, who he will target. Off the backboard, Magnus can't quite reach the ball, and it's going to be up to Metsunaris, who launches straight over to and awaiting a lot. Off the backboard, the follow-up from Magnus is shut down at the final second from K-Dub, but it's Complexity's opportunity to tie us up. They cannot afford to let Gale Force settle on a lead. One of the best game conversion rates in the RLCS. Metsunaris, pass is too far away. And the demo from a lot, he's going to need to take out at least 2 people if he wanted that to make any sort of difference. Magnus launches once again, but this is just giving Gale Force ample time to prepare themselves. And has also given them this chance as Violent Panda is waiting in the middle, but K-Dub this time takes it by himself.
A little surprised the solo play worked, but K-Dub, the trap from him, the control as well.
Oh, you see it there. Magnus is waiting for the pass.
Yep.
That is conditioning 101 right there. You do something over and over again, and then you change. Violent Panda to the middle. Complexity have got so much work to do now. 3 minutes to do it. But a 2-goal deficit can be near impossible to pull back against Gale Force. Over to Magnus. Too heavy of a touch, but a lot can rotate himself in. Choosing to take a light shot as the double commit does happen. And it's going to happen once again.
I don't know if I want to justify both of these as being on purpose. What is that?
So typically in defenses, you try and set up with 1 player on the left, 1 player on the right.
Yeah.
When you see a lot of double commits, it's usually when the ball is directly in the middle. That is that happening and just sort of really working out.
Sort of is definitely not a word I'd use. Definitely working out.
felt bad for Complexity beforehand. It's got even worse, and that is a terrible double commit, an unnecessary touch, and Gale Force running rampant.
I don't even want to say that it's Complexity getting their win and losing that, and there it is. Magnus just barely getting it. I don't think he expected to actually get that delayed touch. He got that second flip. It looked like he knew he'd missed it, but then he accidentally got one more touch on it, and that's when his teammate came up to try and challenge with him, and that's where you see the double commit. But I think it's Gale Force, you know, we talked about them having a little bit of a slump their last few series, but they seem to be well out of that slump.
And I think you're seeing right now roughly what the difference is between these two teams. At their best, if we were to put them into a one-game series, it could go either way. But it just seems like Gale Force have got slightly more mental fortitude, able to push for longer periods of time. And if this does stay the way it is, as the tap down is going to offer an opportunity to Complexity, they are fully aware that in the RLCS they have lost against Gale Force 3 series in a row. They do not want to make it 4.
What is that? That was actually in. That touch from Alot was actually in the net.
I just want Alot to go and create like a shooting package of things that he can score. Like he has to be able to hit it. And then I want to see if anyone else can do it.
Oh, just so you can actually see how bad you are in comparison?
I wouldn't put it like that, but yeah, I'm more than down to have my feelings hurt.
I meant you in the grand scheme of everybody.
Ah, okay. I do consider myself a messenger of the people.
Open net though, get up on the back wall.
Big challenge. All the time in the world for Magnus to set up. He's got a lot to aim for with the tap straight up. Everybody from Gale Force was sat on the line, waiting to see what would happen. No one even attempting to challenge. But Gale Force happy to take their time, maybe a little bit too much. The shot from Metanaris just had to be slightly higher and probably would have found its way in. Now just over a minute remaining. Alot with the shot, and Turbo Pulse, a crucial save. That went in. It would have been all hands on deck. But there you see the potential downfall. Complexity are committing everything, and it's highly probable that they can get caught by yet another long clear from Gale Force.
If you're going against a Turtle and Gale Force, your best bet is to start just demoing as much as you can. It's going to be so difficult to break through that team if they know they're consciously playing a passive defensive game.
Ball up high. Metanaris needs to come in. Takes it straight down to Magnus. Once again, red. Gale Force are not blinkering. They are not holding themselves on the full cam. And this could be the perfect receipt for it, but they were unable to take the shot. 4-1 though. And this could very well be the ending scoreline because Complexity have got it all to do and got so little time to do it. Metanaris attempted to create something, but as you mentioned, a Turtle in Gale Force, so difficult to break down. And now with that shot off the backboard, are going to be unable to do something. This sets up a huge match later on between Gale Force and Renault Vitality. But for the time being, in the rematch of the grand finalists, Gale Force remain on top.
Not amazing for the record between Complexity and Gale Force on the Complexity side of things.